Hello guys, how are you? I hope you're fine and in good health. First lesson in this term is talking about light energy. Have you ever heard about it before? Last year you studied something called energy. Do you remember what's the energy? Yep, super. Energy is the ability to do work and it has some forms. Can you tell me what are these forms? Fantastic. Let's say them together. Heat, sound, electric, kinetic, potential, light, and magnetic. Now, what do you think? Which form of energy can be seen? Can we see heat? Can we see sound, magnetic, kinetic, potential? No, we can't. But we can see, light energy. Light energy is a form of energy that can be seen. Okay, you know what gives me light? Yes, some sources like lamp, fire, candle, sun, and so on. In this lesson, inshallah, we're gonna talk about light energy in details. Let's start with the definition of light energy. What is a light energy? As we said before, that light is one form of energy that can be seen. So, if I ask you, write the scientific term, it's a form of energy that can be seen. So, the answer will be light energy. So, repeat it again with me. What is light energy? It's a form of energy that can be seen. Okay, can be seen means visible. If I said I can see the pen in front of me, so it means that this pen is visible to me. So the word or this sentence can be seen. It means what? It means visible. And in this term, inshallah, we will know a new vocab of light, which is mean spectrum. So what's meant by spectrum? It means light. So if I said, what is a visible spectrum? Visible is something can be seen, and spectrum, it means light. So this definition it means what? It means that visible spectrum, the light energy that can be seen. Next, we will talk about sources of light. Okay, you know what's meant by sources of light? Yes, the objects that gives me light. We have two types of these sources. Natural, artificial. Okay, natural means made by God, but artificial means made by human or man. So, give me some examples of the natural sources of light. Wow, you're right. The sun, and you know that sun is the main source of light and heat on the earth. What else is natural source of light? Super, stars also. Okay, now let's talk about the artificial sources of light. Could you give me some examples of artificial source of light or something made by human? Amazing. Electric lamp or electric bulb, flashlight, candles, fire, and also we have something called kerosene lamp. We used kerosene lamp in the past before inventing the electric lamp. So let's say them together. We have two types of sources of light. We have natural and artificial source of light. Natural like sun and stars, artificial like electric lamp, flashlight, candles, fire, and kerosene lamp. Add to information that kerosene is a flammable liquid or can be burned to light up. What about moon? Is the moon a natural or artificial source of light? No, you're wrong this time. The moon is neither a natural source nor an artificial source of light. Actually, moon is a dark body, but it seems shiny or luminous in the sky. That's because it reflects the sunlight to the earth. Moon looks like a mirror. When you stand in front of a mirror, you can see your picture, right? Does that mean that your real body exists inside the mirror? No, mirror just reflects your picture. And we will know why later. But moon doesn't consider as a source of light because it just reflects the sunlight that falls on it, like this picture in front of you. So when I ask you give reason, moon can't be considered as a source of light energy. Why? Yes, because it reflects the sunlight. And you know guys what's the meaning of reflects? Reflect means bouncing back or returning back. So when the light falls on something, it reflects or it returns back or bounces back. From here, do you know how do we see objects? Before that, get inside your room at night, turn off all lights, then try to read your favorite book. Can you? Of course no. We need light to see. But why? Light falls on the object, then it reflects or returns back to our eyes so we can see, like that cute boy in front of you. How does he see this pencil? When the light fell on the pencil, then it reflected to his eyes, so he saw it. And the scientist who discovered how do we see objects is known Al-Hasan ibn al-Haytham. That guy, guys, discovered how do we see objects. Remember that name, guys, because I will talk about him later. So, how do we see objects? When the light falls on the object, it reflects back to our eyes so we can see it. Light has some properties. You know what's the meaning of properties? Properties means characteristics. So, what are these properties or characteristics that belongs to light or describe the light? First one is transmitting the light through different materials. Second one, light travels in straight lines. Third, light reflection. Fourth, light refraction. Fifth, light separation. And I will talk about each one in details right now. So, first one, let's say it again. Transmitting the light through different materials. We have three types of materials according to their ability to transmit the light through them. You know what's meant by transmitting or transmit? Transmitting means passing. So the light can pass through some materials and cannot pass or transmit through other materials. Let's talk about these materials in details. First one, we have transparent materials. Second one, translucent materials or semi-transparent. Third one is opaque materials. So let's say them together again. We have transparent materials, translucent materials, opaque materials. Transparent materials. Look at this bowl. You can see fish easily and clearly, right? You know why? Because this bowl is made of glass, and glass has the ability to allow most of light through it. And I said before what's meant by pass, transmit. So that's why we can see what's behind it. So glass is considered as a transparent material. So what is a transparent material? It's the material which allows most of the light or passes most of the light or transmits most of the light through it, and objects behind can be seen clearly. Like what? Super! Like glass, we can see behind glass, we can see behind air, and also we can see behind pure or clear water. So let's say it again. What's the meaning of transparent materials? It's a material which allows most of the light to pass through it, and objects behind can be seen clearly, like air, pure water or clear water, and glass. So in the second picture, guys, it shows you how can the light pass or transmit through the transparent materials. Okay, the second one, translucent or semi-transparent materials. Look at these pictures, guys. Can you see the girl or the hand of that man clearly? Yes, we can see them, but not clearly. We can see them less clearly, right? You know why? Because these surfaces in front of you or in front of the woman and the man allow some of light to pass or transmit through it, and this is known as translucent materials or semi-transparent materials. So what's the meaning of translucent materials or semi-transparent materials? It's the materials which allows some, not all light or most of light, it just allows some of the light to pass through it, and objects behind can be seen less clearly. So we can see in the first picture the outer shape of the girl, but we cannot see her eyes, her hair, the color of her hair or her skin. We just see the outer shape of the girl, so we can see her less clearly. Why? Because this surface in front of her is made of translucent materials, and translucent material is what? It is a material which allows some of the light to pass through it, and objects behind can be seen less clearly. Like what? We have some examples of translucent materials. First one is called frosted glass. Frosted glass, like the two pictures in front of you. This is a type of frosted glass. It's not like the normal glass that you can see behind it clearly. No, it's something like this surface in front of you. Also tissue paper. Tissue paper is considered as a translucent material because it allows some of light to pass through it, and objects behind can be seen less clearly. The third example is here, tracing paper, and tracing paper is known as a butter paper. The last one is opaque materials, and opaque materials is the opposite of transparent materials. Opaque materials is a material that doesn't allow the light to pass or travel or transmit through it, and objects behind cannot be seen at all. Like wood, you can see behind wood? No, why? Because it's an opaque material. It doesn't allow light to transmit through it. That's why we can't see behind wood. What else? Carton, paper, aluminum foil, and the body. And also we have metals and other examples. So, what's meant by opaque materials? It's a material that doesn't allow light to pass or transmit or travel through it, and objects behind cannot be seen at all, like wood, carton, paper, aluminum foil, and the body.
Objects are classified as transparent, translucent, or opaque depending upon their treatment of light. Objects that allow light to pass through them are called transparent objects. Most of the light falling upon a transparent object passes through it to the other side, thereby allowing us to see through them. Glass, clean air, pure water, etc. are examples of transparent objects. Objects that do not allow any light to pass through them are called opaque objects. As a result, we cannot see through them. When light falls on an opaque object, its shadow is formed on the other side of it. Wood, sheets of metal, dark-colored plastics, rocks, etc. are examples of opaque objects. Objects that are partially transparent and partially opaque are called translucent objects. They allow light to pass through them in a scattered or diffused manner. Frosted glass, tracing paper, greased paper, etc. are examples of translucent objects.